Nikola Jokic was ranked as the 18th best forward in the 2014 college basketball recruiting class, so we're the 17 forwards ranked higher than him now. Well, to start, just in front of him at number 17 is Josh Hart, coming out of Washington, D.C., who committed to play for Villanova. And he would go on to play 4 years for the Wildcats, where he was extremely good, winning a national championship and being named a consensus first-team All-American and the Big East Player of the Year. And this allowed him to be selected 30th overall in the 2017 NBA draft by Utah, where overall he's been solid in the league but not great, currently playing for the Knicks. And coming in at number 16 is Jenkins, coming out of Washington, D.C., who committed to play for Villanova. And he also would go on to play 4 years for the Wildcats, becoming a very good player for them and hitting the game-winning national championship buzzer-beater shot. Despite this, though, he went undrafted in 2017, never playing in the NBA and last playing in the German Basketball League in 2018. And now he currently works for player development for Villanova and is a public speaker. Cracking into the top 15 is Semi Ojaye, coming out of Ottawa, Kansas, who committed to play for Duke. And he was a complete bust in his first 2 years with Duke, transferring to SMU, where he went on a magical run, as he averaged 19 points and 6.9 rebounds per game, as he was named the AAC Player of the Year and an honorable mention All-American. And this allowed him to be selected in the second round of the 2017 NBA draft, where he sadly just was very underwhelming in the league. Now he's currently playing in Spain. And coming in at number 14 is Austin Nichols, coming out of Memphis, Tennessee, who committed to play for Memphis. And he was solid with the Tigers for 2 seasons, actually being named the AAC Rookie of the Year, but after this in 2016 he transferred to Virginia, where he'd be kicked off their team after only a few games. And after that he never played professional basketball and is now currently an assistant branch manager for Enterprise Holdings. And at number 13 is Jermaine Lawrence, coming out of Bayside, New York, who committed to play for Cincinnati. And he was a bust in his first year with the Bearcats, transferred to Manhattan, where he was also just very bad and is now currently working as an analytics consultant. And coming in at number 12 is Marcus Lee, coming out of Anacostia, California, who committed to play for Kentucky. And in his 3 years with the Wildcats, he didn't do much, transferring to California in 2017, where he had an extremely good season but would go undrafted in 2018. After that, he bounced around many different leagues and teams and is now currently playing in the Polish Basketball League. And at number 11 is Isaiah Hicks, coming out of Oxford, North Carolina, who committed to play for North Carolina. And he was never amazing, but was a pretty solid player for the Tar Heels for 4 seasons, winning a national championship and being named the ACC Sixth Man of the Year. After this, though, he went undrafted in 2017, actually getting to play 2 seasons in the NBA before now currently playing in the Korean Basketball League. And cracking into the top 10 is Bobby Portis, coming out of Little Rock, Arkansas, who committed to play for Arkansas. And in his 2 years of college basketball with the Razorbacks, he was flat out dominant, being named a consensus second-team All-American and being named the SEC Player of the Year. And this allowed him to be selected 22nd overall in the 2015 NBA draft, where he's been a very solid player in the league and is now currently playing for the Bucks. And coming in at number 9 is Rondé Hollis Jefferson, coming out of Chester, Pennsylvania, who committed to play for Arizona. And in his 2 years with the Wildcats, he was a good player there, as he was named a first-team All-Pac-12 selection. And this allowed him to be selected 23rd overall in the 2015 NBA draft by Portland, where he did get to play a little bit in the NBA, but was never that amazing. And now he's currently playing in the Puerto Rican Basketball League. And at number 8 is Jarrell Martin, coming out of Tallulah, Louisiana, who committed to play for LSU. And he had a dominant second season with the Tigers, averaging 16.9 points and 9.2 rebounds per game, as he was named a first-team All-SEC selection. And this allowed him to be selected 25th overall in the 2015 NBA draft, but he was sadly just overall bust in the league, only playing there for 4 seasons and now currently playing in Korea. And coming in at number 7 is James Young, coming in at Flint, Michigan, who committed to play for Kentucky. And he had a great freshman season with the Wildcats, averaging 14.3 points a game, as he was named a second-team All-SEC selection and would go on to be selected 17th overall in 2014 by Boston. Sadly, though, he only played 4 years in the NBA, being a complete bust, and is now currently playing in the Italian Basketball League. And at number 6 is Noah Vonleh, coming out of New Hampton, New Hampshire, who committed to play for Indiana. And he had a great freshman season for the Hoosiers, averaging 11.3 points a game, as he was named the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. And this allowed him to be selected 9th overall in the 2014 NBA draft by Charlotte, where he had a long career in the NBA but was never that amazing. And now he's currently playing for the Shanghai Sharks. And cracking into the top 5 is Chris Walker, coming out of Bonfay, Florida, who committed to play for Florida. And in his 2 years with the Gators, he was just overall bust, never doing much of anything. So he obviously went undrafted in 2015, signing with the Rockets, where he never played a minute in the NBA. And now he is currently playing with the Orlando Magic G League team. And coming in at number 4 is Aaron Gordon, coming out of San Jose, California, who committed to play for Arizona. And he had a great freshman season for the Wildcats, averaging 12.4 points and 8 rebounds per game, as he was named a third-team All-American and the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. And this allowed him to be selected 4th overall in the 2014 NBA draft by Orlando, where he's been extremely good in the NBA and is now currently playing for the Denver Nuggets. And cracking into the top 3 is Jabari Parker, coming out of Chicago, Illinois, who committed to play for Duke. And he had a dominant one-and-done season at Duke, averaging 19.1 and 8.7 rebounds per game, as he was named a consensus first-team All-American and the National Freshman of the Year. And this allowed him to be selected 2nd overall in the 2014 NBA draft by Milwaukee, where his career got off to a hot start, but he was overall just kind of underwhelming in the league and is now currently playing for FC Barcelona. And coming in at number 2 is Julius Randle, coming out of Dallas, Texas, who committed to play for Kentucky. And he had a dominant freshman season for the Wildcats, averaging 15 points and 10.4 rebounds per game, as he was named a third-team All-American and the SEC Rookie of the Year. And this allowed him to be selected 7th overall in the 2014 NBA draft by the Lakers, where he looked like a bust early on in his career, but then joined the Knicks and was amazing, making 3 All-Star appearances and currently playing for the Timberwolves. And at number 1 is Andrew Wiggins, coming out of Huntington, West Virginia, who committed to play for Kansas. He was amazing in his 1 year at Kansas, averaging 17.1 points a game. FC was named the Big 12 Freshman of the Year and would go on to be selected 1st overall in the 2014 NBA draft by Cleveland. After that, he was traded to the Timberwolves, where he was good there, and then traded off to Golden State, where he was extremely good there, and is now currently playing for the Miami Heat.